On May 8, 2026, the U.S. government released classified UFO files that confirm what researchers have been saying for decades. Not grainy footage, not pilot testimonies that get dismissed at press briefings. Actual program documents from inside the U.S. intelligence apparatus confirming that non-human craft have been recovered. But here's what the headlines are missing. The real story isn't that UFOs are real. It's that the U.S. has had them for decades, handed them to defense contractors, and has been quietly learning how to fly them. The release covers documents spanning multiple agencies, including the Defense Intelligence Agency, the Office of Naval Intelligence, and several programs that had no public name until this month. What makes this different from every prior disclosure is the language. Previous releases talked about unidentified aerial phenomena in careful, detached terms. These documents use phrases like recovered non-human origin craft and material of non-terrestrial manufacture. That's not bureaucratic hedging, that's an admission. The scope of what dropped in May is wide, but it's the gaps that tell the deeper story. Whole sections are redacted. Specific program names appear once and then disappear behind black bars for the next 30 pages. You can see the shape of something much larger being deliberately kept out of frame. Several documents reference programs that connect directly to known black budget operations. The names won't be familiar to most people, but defense researchers have been tracking anomalous budget line items for years. Money that flows into programs with no public description and no congressional oversight record. What the May 8th files do is start filling in what some of that money was actually for. So why release any of this now? The answer is congressional pressure that's been building since 2023, combined with whistleblower protection legislation that made it legally safer for insiders to come forward. The UAP Disclosure Act forced the hand of agencies that would have sat on this indefinitely. Multiple former program officials had already testified under oath to the Senate Armed Services Committee that recovery programs existed. Once that's on the congressional record, full suppression becomes harder to maintain. Then there's AARO, the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, which was set up in 2022 and spent 2 years publicly stating there was no evidence of recovered craft or reverse engineering programs. The May 8th documents directly contradict that position. Reports from inside AARO's own analysis chain reference material studies and propulsion research that don't match anything in the known aerospace inventory. The office was telling Congress one thing while its own classified reporting said something else entirely. One document that's getting a lot of attention references a program structure described as a tiered controlled access program, meaning it's classified above top secret in a way that legally exempts it from standard congressional oversight. That structure is how you hide something for 50 years without a single budget hearing exposing it. The program isn't in the black budget because it technically doesn't exist inside the normal classification architecture. It exists in a separate layer that most of the government can't even ask about. What's confirmed in the files, taken together, is this. Craft of non-human origin were recovered, materials from those craft were transferred to contractors for analysis, and at least some of that work involved propulsion systems that don't match any known physics framework. The documents don't explain how far that work progressed, but they confirm it happened and they confirm it's been happening for a long time. The files confirm recovery. But recovery is only the beginning of this story. What the U.S. did with what it found, who did the work, and what they've actually built from it, that's what the next layer of documents starts to reveal. If you wanted to hide the most advanced aerospace program in human history, Lockheed's Skunk Works facility in Palmdale, California, is exactly where you'd put it. This is the same operation that built the U-2 spy plane in total secrecy during the 1950s, then followed it with the SR-71 Blackbird, which flew so fast and so high that nothing could touch it. Then came the F-117, the world's first operational stealth aircraft, which the Air Force publicly denied existed for years while it was already flying combat missions. Skunk Works doesn't just build classified aircraft, it builds things the rest of the world won't believe are possible until they're already obsolete. The May 8th files reference contractor involvement in material analysis going back decades. Lockheed is named in connection with propulsion research tied to recovered craft, and the language used isn't vague. One document describes a materials transfer to a cleared defense contractor facility for analysis of non-conventional propulsion elements. Skunk Works has the clearance infrastructure, the physical security, and the engineering depth to run exactly that kind of program without a single public trace. Raytheon's role is different, but just as telling. Where Lockheed is about airframes and propulsion, Raytheon specializes in the sensor and weapon systems that would need to interface with whatever gets built. Their classified divisions have been working on directed energy weapons and advanced electromagnetic systems for years, and several of those programs have budget lines that dwarf their known output. If you're reverse engineering a craft that manipulates electromagnetic fields for propulsion, you need Raytheon-level expertise to understand what you're actually measuring. Their involvement points to a program that's moved well past basic materials analysis into something that requires operational hardware. The structure that makes all of this legally possible is called a Controlled Access Program, or CAP. It sits above top secret clearance and operates outside the standard congressional budget review process. A program inside a CAP doesn't appear in defense appropriations hearings. It doesn't get reviewed by the Armed Services Committee. The people running it can legally tell senators it doesn't exist, because inside the classification framework, it technically doesn't. This is how you spend decades and billions of dollars on something with no public record. The money moves through layers of contractor sub-accounting that were specifically designed to be untraceable. Bob Lazar described this exact architecture in 1989. He said he worked at a facility near Area 51 called S4, where 9 recovered craft were stored and studied. He described a propulsion system built around a stable isotope of element 115, which he called moscovium, that generated a gravitational field used for propulsion. At the time, element 115 didn't officially exist on the periodic table. It was synthesized and confirmed in 2003. Lazar's technical descriptions were specific enough and accurate enough on points that couldn't have been guessed, that dismissing him as a fraud requires ignoring a lot of inconvenient detail. The May 8th files don't mention him by name, but the propulsion research they reference lines up with what he described 37 years ago. Where does the money come from? Defense analysts who track black budget allocations have flagged a category of aerospace spending that's grown by roughly 300% since the early 2000s, with no corresponding increase in known program output, no new aircraft, no announced propulsion contracts, no patents filed. That money went somewhere, and based on what the files released describe, the answer is becoming harder to argue with. Start with what Navy pilots actually recorded, because that's where the physics breaks down in a way you can't explain away. The Tic Tac incident from 2004 gave us something rare: military sensor data, trained observers, and a craft that performed maneuvers no known aircraft can execute. Commander David Fravor watched it drop from 80,000 feet to sea level in under a second, stop dead, then accelerate in a completely different direction with no transition, no arc, no deceleration curve, just an instantaneous change of vector at speeds that would reduce a human pilot to a stain on the seat. The G-force involved in that kind of movement, by any conventional physics calculation, would be somewhere between 400 and 700 Gs. A human body starts losing consciousness around 9 Gs. Whatever was inside that craft, if anything was, it wasn't being subjected to the same forces the airframe was generating. That's the first thing that separates these craft from everything else. They don't appear to be affected by inertia. When your car accelerates, you feel it push you back into the seat because your body has mass and resists the change in motion. These craft move as if that relationship between mass and acceleration has been switched off. The engineering community's best working theory is electromagnetic field manipulation, where the craft generates a localized field that essentially warps the space it's moving through, so the craft and everything inside it moves together without experiencing the directional forces that would normally apply. You're not pushing through space, you're moving the space around you. Then there's the propulsion signature, or more accurately, the complete absence of one. Every aircraft ever built leaves traces: heat bloom from engines, exhaust gases, a pressure wave that generates a sonic boom above the speed of sound. These craft produce none of that. Radar tracks them at speeds well above Mach 1 with no sonic signature. Infrared sensors find no heat output. There's no jet wash, no plasma trail, nothing that conventional propulsion would leave behind. Whatever is moving them isn't burning anything and isn't pushing against the air. The altitude performance compounds this, from a standing hover at low altitude to above 80,000 feet in a matter of seconds, with no acceleration phase, no engine spool-up, no detectable thrust vector. That's not improved propulsion, that's a different category of physics entirely. Stealth properties add another layer. These craft don't just absorb radar the way an F-22 does with its angled surfaces and radar-absorbing materials. They disappear from multiple sensor types simultaneously. Radar, infrared, optical tracking, all go blank at the same moment. That kind of cross-spectrum disappearance suggests the craft can manipulate its own electromagnetic signature across every detection wavelength at once, not just deflect one type of sensor. Now factor in the TR-3B, a triangular craft reported independently by dozens of witnesses across multiple countries over the past 30 years, always described the same way. Silent, slow-moving at low altitude, capable of accelerating away at speeds that leave no trace on radar. The consistency of those descriptions across unconnected sources is hard to write off. If the reverse engineering programs described in the May 8th files produced a flying prototype, a triangular platform would be a logical airframe choice for a craft using field-based propulsion rather than conventional thrust. Even replicating 20% of what these craft can do would make the result invisible to every air defense system on the planet. No radar lock, no heat-seeking missile track, no intercept solution. If the US has crossed that threshold, the gap between American air power and every other nation isn't measured in generations. It's measured in physics. China's DFZF hypersonic glide vehicle tops out around Mach 10. Russia's Avangard system reaches Mach 27 under ideal conditions. Both represent years of development and genuine engineering achievement. They're also still moving through the atmosphere the same way a rock moves when you throw it, subject to drag, heat, gravity, and tracking solutions that improve every year. Western air defense systems have already started adapting to hypersonic threats. The physics is understood. The countermeasures are being built. A craft that produces no radar return, no heat signature, and no inertial profile isn't a faster version of the same problem. It's a problem that existing defense architecture has no answer for, because every detection and intercept system ever built assumes the target is operating inside Newtonian physics. You can't compute an intercept solution for something that changes direction instantaneously. You can't guide a missile to a heat source that doesn't exist. You can't jam a craft that's already invisible to every wavelength you're transmitting. That's what makes the strategic gap here different from any prior technology advantage. When the US fielded the F-117, it took years before adversaries developed radar systems capable of tracking low observable aircraft. Eventually they did. The physics was still the same, just harder to work with. What the May 8th files point toward is a capability that doesn't give adversaries a longer timeline to adapt. It gives them no pathway at all, because the underlying physics isn't an evolution of what they already understand. The surveillance applications alone would reshape geopolitics entirely. A platform that can reach any point on Earth undetected, loiter without any thermal or electromagnetic trace, and exit before any response is mounted gives the US an intelligence collection capability with no precedent. Every facility, every command structure, every weapons program a foreign government believes is hidden becomes visible, and they'd never know it happened. That's why this stayed buried for so long. Releasing it doesn't just trigger an arms race. It collapses the entire framework of mutual deterrence that international security has been built on since the 1950s. Every treaty negotiated under the assumption that both sides had roughly comparable detection and strike capabilities becomes meaningless. Every military alliance recalculates its value. The geopolitical order restructures overnight and not in ways anyone can fully predict. Lockheed and Raytheon aren't going to confirm any of this. The program managers who ran these operations signed agreements that don't expire and carry criminal consequences. But the May 8th documents are doing something those individuals can't stop. They're assembling the outline of a program that was never supposed to have an outline. Each redacted page still shows you where the edges are, and the edges are a lot larger than anyone outside this program was supposed to know. The US didn't just recover something, it spent decades turning that recovery into operational hardware, and the rest of the world is only now finding out that race was run without them. What dropped isn't the end of the story, it's the first time the story got official edges. The US has been flying ahead of the known world for decades, and the files are finally saying what the contractors never will. The sky above the USS Gerald Ford lit up with a bright blue flash as something incredible took place. After nearly a century of struggle, the United States Navy had finally solved one of its biggest challenges. Carrier-based jets could now match or even surpass land-based fighters. For years, aircraft carriers had a major disadvantage. Their jets had to be smaller, lighter, and carry less fuel compared to those launching from land. As countries like China and Russia built powerful land-based fighters and long-range missiles, many experts doubted whether carriers could hold their ground in modern warfare. That changed with the Navy's next-generation air dominance fighter. Unlike the older FA-18 Super Hornets, this new jet brought futuristic technology that had once seemed impossible. It wasn't just a single aircraft, it was the leader of a small team. Each NGAD fighter was paired with autonomous drones, commonly called collaborative combat aircraft. These drones carried extra weapons, sensors, and fuel, following the lead fighter's commands while also making quick decisions on their own. A single pilot could now manage what used to take several people. The USS Gerald Ford's firepower grew even stronger with the addition of the Helios laser weapon system. This powerful 150-kilowatt laser could track and destroy incoming missiles and enemy drones almost instantly. Unlike traditional missiles that could run out, the laser remained operational as long as the ship had power. Most people had no idea how fast this technology was advancing. When an Air Force official revealed in 2020 that a test version of the NGAD fighter had already flown, defense experts were caught off guard. The Navy had been quietly working on this breakthrough for more than 7 years, replacing outdated systems from the 1990s with cutting-edge technology designed for the future. The USS Gerald Ford was designed with cutting-edge advancements in mind. As the Navy's most sophisticated aircraft carrier, it featured electromagnetic catapults that propelled aircraft more swiftly and effectively than traditional steam-powered systems. Its nuclear reactors generated the vast energy required for the Helios laser. The NGAD fighter also looked completely different from older jets. It had no vertical tail fins and featured a sleek triangular design, allowing it to fly in ways that would have made traditional aircraft lose control. Advanced computer systems made thousands of tiny adjustments every second to keep it steady and maneuverable. In training exercises, the results spoke for themselves. Against experienced pilots flying F-35s, the NGAD fighter and its robotic wingmen won nearly every simulated battle. The difference was overwhelming. For countries that had spent billions developing anti-ship missiles to keep United States carriers at a distance, this presented a serious problem. With these new jets, carriers could now operate much closer to enemy territory without fear. For the first time since World War II, carrier-based jets weren't just keeping up with land-based fighters, they were better. This wasn't just an upgrade. As the sun set behind the carrier, the new fighter launched into the night, its silhouette blending into the sky. The aircraft represented a development in naval warfare. What happens when these advanced fighters go beyond the clouds and into the vast darkness of space? Could the next generation of American warplanes be used as spacecraft? Engineers across America are already working on technologies beyond those used on the USS Gerald Ford. While naval aviation advances, the next leap is happening in secret labs. The goal isn't just faster planes, it's aircraft that can move between air and space. These next-generation hypersonic fighters could transform aerial combat. Traveling above Mach 5, more than 6,000 kilometers per hour, they could cross continents in minutes. A fighter this fast could fly from New York to Los Angeles in under 30 minutes, making it nearly impossible to track, let alone stop. Building such an aircraft comes with massive challenges. At extreme speeds, air friction generates heat strong enough to melt standard materials. To solve this, the Air Force and NASA are developing heat-resistant composites that can withstand over 2,000 degrees Celsius without breaking apart. Propulsion is another hurdle. Regular jet engines can't function well at extreme speeds or in the thin upper atmosphere. That's where scramjets come in. Unlike traditional engines, scramjets have no moving parts. They use the aircraft's speed to compress incoming air, generating thrust. Since 2018, the Air Force's Mayhem project has been testing scramjet prototypes, gradually improving their performance. Unlike earlier fighter jets, these advanced aircraft wouldn't just fly high, they could briefly leave Earth's atmosphere. By reaching altitudes above 100 kilometers, they could enter a suborbital path, skipping across the upper atmosphere like a stone across water. This would allow them to strike targets with almost no warning, conduct surveillance from altitudes beyond the reach of anti-aircraft weapons, and even deploy small satellites to restore communications in combat zones. The United States military has been quietly funding this research for years. DARPA has been working on airspace transition vehicles since 2020, focusing on designs that can move between the atmosphere and space without rockets or launch pads. But breaking into space creates new risks. Outside Earth's atmosphere, cosmic radiation can damage electronics and pose health risks to pilots. Engineers are developing shielding and radiation-resistant computer systems to keep these aircraft safe. Fuel is another challenge. Traditional jets can refuel mid-air, but space-capable aircraft need an energy source powerful enough to push them beyond most of Earth's gravity and still bring them back safely. Advanced hydrogen propulsion is one possible solution, providing high-energy output with only water as a byproduct. The race to develop this technology is already underway. China is rapidly increasing its hypersonic research budget, while Russia's PAKDP program is working on similar aircraft. Any country that masters space-capable fighters will gain a major military advantage. This also raises legal questions. The 1967 Outer Space Treaty bans nuclear weapons in space, but doesn't address conventional weapons or temporary military operations beyond Earth's atmosphere. This loophole has sparked new debates at the United Nations about the future of space warfare. Even the best pilots would need entirely new training for these aircraft. At hypersonic speeds, decisions must be made in milliseconds, too fast for human reaction times. AI assistance and augmented reality systems would have to predict and respond to problems before they happen. The Air Force is already preparing for this future. Specialized bases are being upgraded to support these hybrid airspace vehicles, with reinforced hangars, advanced cooling systems, and specialized fuel storage facilities built to handle the extreme demands of hypersonic flight. While sixth-generation fighters represent the future of modern warfare, these seventh-generation space fighters are something entirely different. The line between science fiction and military reality is disappearing fast. What once seemed impossible is now just a matter of time. As these jets push the limits of technology, the big question is, who or what will be in the pilot's seat? Behind closed doors in high-tech labs across America, engineers have been building the brains of future warplanes long before a single piece of metal is cut. Before these next-generation fighters take shape, their artificial intelligence is already training in virtual battles against the world's best pilots. AI is no longer just a co-pilot, it is being designed to take over entirely. What began as basic autopilot and warning systems soon expanded to flight guidance and real-time threat analysis. Now, cutting-edge AI can autonomously execute complex combat missions, making split-second decisions faster than any human pilot. A breakthrough came with the Pentagon's Project Maven. Launched in 2017, it began by teaching AI to recognize objects in drone footage. Over time, the system evolved to track multiple moving targets, even through clouds, smoke, and electronic interference. The next generation of warplanes will look unlike anything seen before. There will be no cockpits or instrument panels, just advanced processors, cooling systems, and AI-powered decision-making packed inside a sleek, high-speed airframe. These aircraft will be more like flying supercomputers than traditional jets, controlling weapons, sensors, and engines with machine intelligence. The way these planes are built is also changing. In factories across Nevada and California, massive 3D metal printers are already shaping experimental aircraft parts. These machines create complex designs layer by layer, using titanium and carbon fiber, making structures that were previously impossible with older manufacturing methods. This advancement accelerates production at an unprecedented rate. In the past, developing and testing a new design could take several years, involving extensive prototyping, manual adjustments, and countless trial and error phases. Now, with advanced automation and AI-driven simulations, the entire process can be streamlined, reducing development time to just weeks. Engineers can rapidly iterate designs, test performance in virtual environments, and refine prototypes with real-time data, allowing for faster innovation and deployment. Engineers feed designs into simulations where AI runs countless virtual test flights, refining the aircraft before a real one is built. Only the best designs move forward, ensuring each new fighter is an improvement over the last. Military planners see an opportunity in this rapid development cycle. Instead of producing hundreds of identical jets that risk becoming outdated, they can create smaller batches that evolve over time. Each generation learns from the last, making the fleet smarter and more adaptable. Another breakthrough is the concept of smart skin. Instead of mounting separate radar and sensors, the entire surface of these aircraft will be covered in tiny sensors, turning the whole plane into a flying surveillance system. Traditional jets have blind spots; these will have none, detecting threats from all directions and instantly sharing that data with other AI-powered aircraft. This real-time connection gives AI-controlled jets a major edge. Multiple fighters can operate as a single intelligent unit, responding to threats as a team. Smaller, unmanned drone fighters, built at a fraction of the cost, can fly alongside, carrying extra weapons, scouting ahead, or even sacrificing themselves to protect the primary aircraft. But with AI-driven warfare, ethical concerns grow. Military rules state that a human must have meaningful control over combat decisions. Yet at hypersonic speeds, human reaction time simply cannot match AI decision-making measured in microseconds. The Navy has formed an advisory board to address these concerns, ensuring AI follows rules of engagement and minimizes unnecessary harm. However, programming a machine to understand restraint and proportionality remains an unsolved challenge. Technical hurdles also remain. AI-driven aircraft require immense computing power, generating extreme heat. Scientists are exploring quantum computing and advanced cooling systems to keep these machines running efficiently. And while AI has mastered strategy games like chess, aerial combat is far more unpredictable. Training AI pilots in massive simulation environments is key to sharpening their combat skills. The combination of rapid manufacturing and AI autonomy is reshaping aerial warfare. The nation that perfects this technology first will gain an overwhelming advantage, one where warplanes don't just fly, but learn, adapt, and improve with every mission. Even the most advanced fighter jet loses its edge if the enemy spots it from miles away. But what if these new warplanes could completely disappear even from human sight? The most surprising thing about the next generation of fighter jets isn't what they have, it's what they don't. The familiar vertical tails that have defined military aircraft for over a century are gone. Sharp edges and visible engine intakes are missing too. Instead, these jets have a smooth, flowing shape that looks strange to experienced pilots. With soft edges and no clear front or back from certain angles, the design defies traditional aerodynamics and stability rules. It resembles a flying triangle more than a conventional aircraft. This groundbreaking transformation is the result of decades of advancements in stealth technology. The first-generation stealth aircraft, such as the F-117 Nighthawk, relied on angular surfaces to scatter radar signals. The B-2 Spirit bomber improved upon this by incorporating smooth curved contours to further reduce detectability. Today, the most advanced designs push the boundaries even further, striving for near-total invisibility to enemy radar systems. Older planes needed vertical tails for stability, but those tails made them easy radar targets. Engineers replaced them with an advanced flow control system originally tested on the B-2. Instead of stabilizers, hundreds of tiny air jets adjust the aircraft's balance in real time. A computer makes constant corrections, ensuring smooth flight without traditional control surfaces. The aircraft's skin also enhances stealth. Radar-absorbing materials are built directly into the structure, making them more durable than older coatings that wore off. Some sections even contain carbon nanotube layers that absorb radar signals and release the energy as harmless heat. Heat detection is another challenge. Fighter jet engines produce extreme heat, making them easy targets for infrared sensors. New designs cool the exhaust before it leaves the aircraft, then spread the remaining heat over a wider area, reducing their infrared signature. This makes it harder for heat-seeking missiles to lock on. Beyond stealth, these jets are built for adaptability. Older fighters were rigidly designed, meaning upgrading one system often required redesigning the entire aircraft. The new generation features modular components, allowing engineers to swap out weapons, sensors, and avionics quickly without major overhauls. This approach cuts costs and extends the aircraft's lifespan. Instead of waiting years for a completely new model, militaries can upgrade existing jets in weeks. Experts estimate this could reduce costs by 30 to 40% compared to today's most advanced fighters. For radar operators, detecting these aircraft is becoming nearly impossible. Older stealth jets had radar signatures the size of a small bird. Today's fighters appear smaller than a marble. The goal is to become virtually invisible to radar altogether. Even spotting these jets with the naked eye is difficult. Adaptive camouflage panels on their surface can change color to blend with the sky or terrain below. While not true invisibility, this makes them extremely hard to track visually, especially from a distance. Every aspect of these jets is built for real-world combat. Critical areas are reinforced to withstand damage, maintenance access points are easier to reach, and vital systems have built-in backups. These improvements come directly from lessons learned in modern warfare. Stealth technology has always been a cat-and-mouse game. As enemy sensors evolve, stealth aircraft must adapt. With flexible designs and cutting-edge technology, these new jets are built to stay ahead, ensuring dominance in future battles. As America leads in stealth tech, others race to catch up. How did a marketing move spark a trillion-dollar power struggle? The idea of fighter jet generations didn't start with military strategists or aviation pioneers. It was a marketing move by Lockheed Martin. In the early 2000s, the company needed a way to make its new F-35 fighter stand out. The solution they came up with was to call it fifth generation, making everything else seem outdated. The term caught on. Soon, military officials, journalists, and analysts worldwide adopted the classification. Older jets were retroactively sorted into generations. The Korean War-era F-86 Sabre became first generation. The Vietnam-era F-4 Phantom was third generation, and Europe's Eurofighter Typhoon landed in the fourth generation category. What began as a sales tactic reshaped global defense strategy. Countries now felt pressured to keep up. When China unveiled its J-20 in 2011, state media repeatedly emphasized one point. It was China's first fifth-generation fighter. The message was clear. China had joined an exclusive club previously limited to the United States and Russia. India accelerated its fifth-generation program. Japan prioritized acquiring such capabilities. South Korea launched an ambitious effort to build its own next-generation fighter instead of buying from abroad. This marketing-driven shift overlooked an important fact. Before generational labels took hold, countries evaluated fighters by their capabilities, not arbitrary classifications. The French Rafale and Swedish Gripen featured advanced technologies that rivaled early fifth-generation jets. Yet they were dismissed as merely 4.5 generation. The United States officially moved towards sixth-generation fighters in 2014 with DARPA's Air Dominance Initiative, securing nearly $1 billion in early funding. By 2020, the Air Force confirmed that a demonstrator had already flown successfully, pushing rivals to accelerate their programs. China responded by reorganizing its aerospace sector, pouring funds into AI and advanced materials research. Satellite images soon revealed remote test sites where experimental aircraft could fly unobserved. Despite economic struggles, Russia pressed forward with its PAKDP program to replace the aging MiG-31. Officials highlighted its planned ability to operate at extreme altitudes, an apparent counter to United States' interest in space-capable fighters. European nations, unable to match these investments alone, formed cooperative ventures. The UK-led Tempest project partnered with Italy and Sweden, while France, Germany, and Spain joined forces on the Future Combat Air System. Both programs aim to maintain European defense independence rather than rely on American jets. Historically, new fighter generations emerge every 10 to 15 years. Now, the leap from 5th to 6th generation may take 25 to 30 years due to rising costs and complexity. 7th generation concepts might not enter service until the 2070s, marking the longest development cycle in fighter history. Meanwhile, the B-52 bomber offers a different approach. First deployed in 1955, it has been continuously upgraded and could serve for a century, proving that evolution sometimes beats revolution. Lockheed Martin, which started this generational race, continues teasing the future. At its Skunk Works 80th anniversary, a mystery aircraft appeared alongside historic designs like the U-2 and SR-71, potentially America's next fighter. With future programs expected to cost hundreds of billions, international collaboration is now essential. What began as a marketing ploy has reshaped global military aviation, making generational labels a defining factor in national security and defense spending. On June 8th, Russia took a significant blow when Ukrainian forces hit a Su-57 fighter jet at Akbank Air Base, about 366 miles from the front line. This was the first time a 5th-generation fighter jet was destroyed in combat, which is especially surprising considering that the Su-57's main competitor, the F-35 Lightning II, has over 1,000 units built. The Su-57, known by NATO as the Felon, is a single-seat, twin-engine fighter designed for multiple roles. It's one of only 4 5th-generation fighters in the world, alongside China's J-20 and the American F-22 and F-35, the latter being the Su-57's closest rival. Let's explore the designs and capabilities of the Su-57. The Su-57 Felon is built for air superiority, excelling in aerial combat as well as ground and maritime strikes. It's equipped to be one of the most advanced fighters in the world, but it faces tough competition from the F-35 Lightning II. It is a 5th-generation fighter jet, known for being Russia's first stealth aircraft in active service. It's designed to be versatile, capable of handling various missions, and focuses on stealth and high maneuverability in all directions. The plane also features large internal bays for carrying weapons and advanced sensors, including a radar system that allows for a high degree of automation. Sukhoi, the company behind the Su-57, looked at the F-22 Raptor as a model for creating a highly maneuverable stealth fighter. However, they aimed to fix some issues they saw in the F-22, such as its limited ability to use thrust vectoring to change direction and its small space for carrying weapons. They also felt the F-22 wasn't suitable for the multi-role missions needed by Russia, as it focused too much on air-to-air combat with fewer weapons. The aircraft has a wide, blended body with 2 engines placed far apart and includes movable horizontal and vertical stabilizers, with the vertical ones tilted for better stealth. The wings are shaped like a trapezoid and include flaps and other control surfaces to help with maneuverability. The plane also uses thrust vectoring to improve its agility and has special extensions on the wings to improve control at high angles and recover from stalls quickly if the thrust vectoring system fails. For braking in the air, the plane's ailerons move up while other control surfaces move down, and the vertical stabilizers turn inward to create more drag. The Su-57 is made from a combination of materials, with about 40% being aluminum and 18% titanium, but it also uses a lot of composite materials, making up about 75% of its outer surface and 22 to 26% of its structural weight. The Su-57 was designed to handle multiple roles. Unlike the F-35, it has a large internal space to carry various air-to-surface weapons. These weapons are stored in 2 main bays located between the engines, along with smaller side bays near the wings. Keeping the weapons inside the aircraft reduces drag, which improves performance and helps maintain its stealth features. It is highly maneuverable and stable in flight, thanks to its advanced flight control system and thrust vectoring nozzles that can direct the engine's thrust. This allows the jet to perform complex maneuvers like the Pugachev's Cobra and the Bell maneuver, as well as flat rotations without losing much altitude. The aircraft's design and powerful engines enable it to reach speeds of Mach 2 and fly at supersonic speeds without using afterburners at Mach 1.3. This gives it a significant advantage in range and speed over older aircraft models. The Su-57 can fly over 1,500 kilometers at supersonic speeds, which is more than twice the range of the Su-27. It also has an extendable refueling probe to further increase its range. While the F-35 is a single-engine aircraft, the Su-57 packs two powerful fire spitters in its rear. On the F-35 is the Pratt & Whitney F-135 low-bypass augmented turbofan that provides 43,000 pound force of thrust with afterburner, thrusting the jet to a top speed of Mach 1.6 to 20 slower than the Mach 2 top speed of the super cruise-capable Su-57 with afterburner engaged, thanks to a pair of NPO Lilka Southern Isdeli 117 engines that produce a combined thrust of over 63,000 pound force. But what the F-35 lacks in thrust, it seems to make up for in engine stealth. The engine on the F-35 has a low observable afterburner that incorporates fuel injectors into thick curved vanes. These vanes are covered by ceramic radar absorbent materials and mask the turbine. Its low observable axis-symmetric nozzle consists of 15 partially overlapping flaps that create a sawtooth pattern at the trailing edge, which reduces radar signature and creates shed vortices that reduce the infrared signature of the exhaust plume. The F-135 PW600 engine for the F-35B, a variant of the F-35 designed for the U.S. Marines, supports short takeoff and vertical landing by incorporating a shaft-driven lift fan. This SDLF was designed by Lockheed Martin and developed by Rolls-Royce as a key technology for the F-35, displaying the most impressive use case and performance. So much so that the system was awarded the prestigious Collier Trophy in 2001. The Su-57 is the first Russian military aircraft designed with a focus on stealth. To reduce its radar visibility, it uses several techniques similar to other stealth fighters like the F-22. The edges of the wings, control surfaces, and panels are carefully aligned and angled to minimize radar reflections. Weapons are stored inside the aircraft, and antennas are recessed to keep the stealthy shape intact. The aircraft is also coated with radar absorbent material, or RAIM, to absorb radar signals and reduce the chances of detection. The entire fifth-generation class of aircraft is heavily dependent on stealth capabilities, so neither the F-35 nor the Su-57 is found lacking here. The American fighter was designed from the ground up with stealth in mind. Its manufacturer, Lockheed Martin, aligned its edges, serrated its skin panels, and masked the engine with easy-to-maintain fiber matte skin for low observability. They also reduced infrared and visual signatures, enabled the reflection of radar waves, and used strict controls of radio frequency emitters. The result is a radar cross-section lower than that of a metal golf ball. However, like other stealth aircraft, the Su-57's low observability is most effective against high-frequency radars, which are typically used by other aircraft. Low-frequency radars, such as those used for weather and early warning, are more likely to detect the Su-57 because of its size, but these radars are larger, more prone to interference, and less precise. To preserve their stealth profiles, both fighters by default carry their weapons internally, although they both have external hardpoints to carry weapons when stealth isn't the topmost priority. The F-35 has 4 internal hardpoints and 6 external hardpoints that combine to hold up to 18,000 pounds of weapons. These weapons are a combination of the most advanced American air-to-air missiles, air-to-surface missiles, and anti-ship missiles. It also wields conventional bombs such as the GBU-53/B Stormbreaker and nuclear bombs such as the B-61 Mod 12 nuclear bomb. For more rapid fire, the F-35 packs a 180-round, 25mm GAU-22/A4 barrel rotary cannon that fires 3,300 rounds per minute, which is far superior to the 1,500 rounds per minute of the 30mm Gryazev-Shipunov JISH-31 autocannon on the Su-57. There's a reason for this. The F-35, being a multi-role fighter, would be tasked with providing close air support to troops on the ground in a bid to replace the renowned A-10 Warthog. The Russian fighter has 6 internal hardpoints and 6 external hardpoints that combine to carry an estimated 16,500 pounds of weapons, slightly less than the weapons payload of the F-35. On its hardpoints is a combination of air-to-air missiles, air-to-surface missiles, anti-ship missiles, anti-radiation missiles, and conventional bombs. It's unclear if the Su-57 would be able to wield nuclear weapons like the F-35 can. The Su-57 takes things further with thrust vector control. The engine nozzles can rotate to direct thrust in different directions, allowing the jet to execute complex maneuvers in pitch, yaw, and roll. This level of control, first seen in earlier Sukhoi models like the Su-30 MKI and Su-35S, makes the Su-57 incredibly agile, capable of feats that seem to defy the laws of physics. The engines also include variable intake ramps for efficiency at supersonic speeds and retractable screens to protect against debris when taking off from rough runways. However, the AL-41F1 engines haven't been without controversy. In 2011, a Su-57 had to abort takeoff due to a compressor stall during the Moscow Air Show, raising concerns about reliability. Looking to the future, the Su-57M is set to receive an even more advanced engine, the AL-51F1, by the mid-2020s. This new engine, designated as Izdeli 30 during development, will provide even more thrust, which is up to 37,500 pounds in afterburner, while also being more reliable and stealthier, thanks to innovations like glass fiber plastic components and a new nozzle design with serrated flaps. As if that weren't enough, by 2023, reports surfaced that UEC Saturn is working on a sixth-generation engine design for the Su-57, pushing the boundaries of what this fighter jet can achieve. By December 2023, all new Su-57s delivered to the Russian Air Force will be equipped with this advanced Stage 2 engine, setting a new standard for power and performance in military aviation. The Su-57 is equipped with two main internal weapon bays, each about 14.4 feet long and 3 feet wide, and two smaller side weapon bays near the wing roots. The main bays are fitted with launchers that can handle different types of missiles. The UVKU-50L launcher for missiles up to 660 pounds, and the UVKU-50U for those up to 1,500 pounds. The side bays use VPU-50 launch rails. For air combat, the Su-57 can carry 4 long-range missiles in the main bays and 2 short-range missiles in the side bays. The primary medium-range missile is the R-77M, an advanced version of the R-77 with improved radar guidance and a dual-pulse motor. For close-range combat, it uses the R-74M2, a heat-seeking missile designed to fit inside the aircraft. There's also a new short-range missile, the KAMD, in development to eventually replace the R-74M2. For longer-range missions, the Su-57 can carry the Izdeli 810 missile, an upgraded version of the R-37M. For striking ground and sea targets, the Su-57 can carry precision-guided bombs like the KB-250 and KB-500, as well as a variety of missiles including the KTH-38 for air-to-ground attacks, the KH-35U anti-ship missile, the KH-58 USHK anti-radiation missile, and the KH-69 cruise missile. When stealth is not a priority, the aircraft can also carry weapons on 6 external hardpoints. Additionally, a new hypersonic missile similar to the KH-47M2 Kinzhal is being developed for internal carriage within the Su-57. The Su-57 also features a 30mm autocannon mounted inside the aircraft near the right wing root. This cannon has an effective range of about 870 yards against aerial targets and 2,000 yards against ground targets. One main feature of the aircraft is a modern glass cockpit without any old-style analog gauges. Instead, it displays information on 2 large 15-inch multifunctional LCD screens, similar to the setup in the Su-35S. Additionally, there is a smaller multifunctional display and a digital control panel. The cockpit includes a wide-angle head-up display that gives the pilot key information directly in their line of sight. The primary controls are a joystick and a pair of throttles, with major functions managed through a hands-on throttle and stick system. The aircraft's canopy is made of 2 parts, with the rear section sliding forward to lock into place. This canopy is coated with a special material to reduce the plane's radar visibility. For pilot safety and comfort, the Su-57 uses the NPP Zvezda K-Kuyo 36D5 ejection seat and the Soji 50 life support system, which includes anti-G protection and an oxygen generation system. The pilot wears a Zeiss AH-10B helmet equipped with a digital display that tracks eye movements, helping to target enemies even at high angles. The oxygen system provides an unlimited supply during flight. The life support system allows the pilot to perform intense 9G maneuvers for up to 30 seconds. The ejection seat, along with the PPK-7 flight suit, ensures safe ejection at altitudes ranging from ground level to 66,000 feet and speeds up to 810 miles per hour. The system also includes a survival kit to help the pilot after ejection. Both the F-35 Lightning II and the Su-57 are fitted with the most advanced avionics and armament their respective countries have to offer. For the F-35, the AN/APG-81, Active Electronically Scanned Array Radar, AON/ASQ-239, Barracuda Electronic Warfare System, AN/AAQ-37 Distributed Aperture System, AON/AAQ-40 Electro-Optical Targeting System, and AN/ANQ-242 Communications, Navigation, and Identification Suite, all combined to provide rapid beam agility, multiple operational modes, all-aspect missile launch and target tracking, 10 radio frequency antennas, all-aspect radar warning receiver, self-defense against missiles, the detection and jamming of hostile radars, laser targeting, forward-looking infrared capabilities, long-range IRRS functions, and an impossible level of sensor fusion to give the pilot and friendlies an omnipresent tactical picture of the battle space without compromising stealth. All of these are made possible by software running on a shocking 86 million lines of code, which is more than double the 4 million lines of the Su-57's code. But this isn't a coding competition, and in terms of avionics, the Su-57 has its own statement to make. Its Central Integrated Management System fuses all the data from the SH-121 radar and electronic warfare radio electronic system, the 101KS electro-optical system, multiple, the NO-36 radar DAR-101, X-band, active electronically scanned array radar, and 2 the NO-36 radar L-band transceivers for friend or foe identification and electronic warfare. This allows for the total integration of avionics systems, maximization of pilots' situational awareness, and reduced workload. Still, the priority for the Su-57 is air superiority, and thus it has fewer avionics systems than the multi-role F-35. Unlike the F-35, the Russian fighter has the PAK-FA program. One of the main technical goals of the PAK-FA program is to fully integrate the Su-57's avionics systems, or sensor fusion, to improve the pilot's awareness of the surroundings and reduce their workload. The integration of these systems is managed by an information management system developed by GRPZ from Ryazan. The key systems include the Sh-121 Multifunctional Integrated Radio Electronic System and the 101KS Atoll Electro-Optical System. Unlike earlier Sukhoi aircraft, Sukhoi itself handled the integration of the IUS, rather than relying on RPKB of Armenskia. The Integrated Avionics Suite, known as IMABK, uses fiber optic channels and runs on over 4 million lines of code. The Sh-121 system includes the NO-36 Bielka radar system and the L-402 Himalayas electronic countermeasure system. The NO-36 radar, developed by Tikhomarov NIIP Institute, features a main nose-mounted X-band radar with 1,114 modules and 2 side-looking X-band radars with 404 modules each, providing wider coverage. The radar antennas are tilted back for stealth purposes. The side radars allow the Su-57 to guide its own missiles while performing evasive maneuvers. The system also has L-band transceivers on the wing edges, which help with identifying friend or foe in electronic warfare. The L-402 Himalayas ECM suite works with both its own arrays and the NO-36 radar system, with one array located between the engines. Communication and data exchange between aircraft and command centers are managed by the S-111 system. The 101KS Atoll Electro-Optical System includes various sensors like the 101KSV Infrared Search and Track, 101KSO Directional Infrared Countermeasures, and others for navigation and targeting. The URST is mounted near the cockpit and can track multiple targets, while the DORS-EM system, a first for a fighter aircraft, has turrets mounted on the aircraft to protect against incoming missiles. The Su-57 can also deploy countermeasures like flares and radar decoys from dispensers in the tailboom. For navigation, the Su-57 uses the BINS SP2M inertial navigation system, which can work with GLONASS and is controlled by the IVS-50 computing system. KRET, the developer, announced in 2016 that it is working on a video processing system called Okotnik to improve target detection and tracking. The aircraft also has a monitoring system that can predict the lifespan of its composite parts, making maintenance more efficient. Additionally, the Su-57 could be used to test advanced AI and unmanned teaming technologies for future fighter programs, and it has even demonstrated autonomous flight without pilot input. It is important to note that over 1,000 F-35s have been built since 2006. While Russia struggles to build a Su-57 in any significant numbers, only 32 units of the fighter have been built since 2009, many of which can't currently take to the skies to protect their nation. And the ones that can are apparently being picked off and destroyed in the Ukraine war. The war has also reportedly slowed down the already slow production of the Russian fighter. So in a battle between the F-35 and Su-57, it'll be a case of entire colonies of hundreds of F-35s up against 24 Su-57s. It would be an unfair fight, and regardless of their capabilities, the winner can be seen before a single shot is fired. Can the United States F-35 withstand the threat of Chinese hypersonic weapons? Recent advancements in China's hypersonic technology have raised global concerns, sparking questions about whether the United States is losing its technological edge. Does the U.S. have the capability to counter these hypersonic threats, or is it at risk of falling behind in this critical area of defense? Join us as we delve into the groundbreaking comparison of two ultimate weapons, the F-35 versus Chinese hypersonic threats. China is making fast progress in hypersonic missile technology, putting it at the forefront globally and raising concerns in the United States. One major example of their advancements is the DF-17 missile, which is designed for speed and precision. It is a medium-range ballistic missile that uses solid fuel and is road mobile, meaning it can be transported and launched from various locations. They have also made breakthroughs in thermal protection and cooling systems, which are crucial for managing the intense heat these missiles generate during flight. These developments give China a clear technological advantage, showing their growing strength in modern military innovation. It's certain that they are not stopping anytime soon, because they recently achieved another major breakthrough in hypersonic missile technology, particularly with its thermal protection system. Chinese scientists have made significant improvements by adding steel nose cones to their new missiles. This advancement is crucial because it enhances the missile's ability to survive the extreme conditions it faces during flight. In August, China also announced the development of an innovative cooling device designed to manage the intense heat generated during hypersonic flight. Hypersonic missiles travel at incredibly high speeds, which results in a huge buildup of heat. Without proper cooling, this heat could damage the missile's guidance system, affecting its accuracy and performance. With the new cooling technology, the missile is better equipped to withstand these extreme temperatures, making it less likely to malfunction. This improvement allows the missile to fly more effectively and remain undetected, increasing its chances of successfully reaching and eliminating its target. These technological advances are a significant step forward for China's hypersonic missile program, giving it a performance edge in the field of modern warfare. As the race for advanced weaponry intensifies, these innovations could change the future of missile technology and warfare. One member of Congress is raising concerns. Representative Doug Lamborn, who is part of the House Armed Services Committee, held a hearing for his subcommittee this spring. The mood was serious. One expert on the panel said the United States is clearly falling behind China. Jeffrey McCormick, an intelligence analyst with the Defense Intelligence Agency, stated that China now has the world's leading hypersonic arsenal. The United States still has reason for optimism. Surprisingly, one of the best American hypersonic missiles is being developed by the U.S. Army. Known as the Long-Range Hypersonic Weapon, or by its nickname, the Dark Eagle, this missile has impressive capabilities. It can travel at speeds exceeding 3,008 human miles per hour and has a range of 1,722. The Dark Eagle uses a road-mobile launcher, a feature also preferred by China for its missiles, making it a highly versatile weapon. According to the Army, the missile can fly to the top of the Earth's atmosphere and stay just out of reach of air and missile defense systems until it's ready to strike. By the time it's within range, it's already too late to react. Despite China's advancements, all is not lost for the U.S. The race to develop hypersonic missiles is critical, as China has made remarkable progress in this area. Their scientists have been steadily advancing hypersonic technology and already have fast, maneuverable missiles deployed. China's military continues to look for ways to improve these weapons, and its rapid progress is something the U.S. must be prepared to match. However, the United States is not far behind, and with the right focus and commitment, it can catch up to China. The issue lies in the way the U.S. military approaches hypersonic development. While China has been able to make steady, incremental advances in their missile technology, the United States has focused on separate programs across various branches of the military. This lack of coordination could slow progress. In contrast, China's approach is more streamlined, allowing them to make faster improvements and field more advanced systems. There's still a chance for the U.S. to regain its lead, but it will require strong, focused efforts. We have yet to experience a Sputnik moment where China might test a hypersonic missile in a high-profile launch that demonstrates its serious intentions to use these weapons for strategic purposes. A launch over Guam, for example, could be a powerful signal to the world of China's capabilities and intentions. Until such a moment happens, policymakers like Representative Doug Lamborn, who is raising concerns about the state of U.S. military technology, are crucial. They are pushing for the U.S. to stay focused on developing advanced hypersonic systems to counter China's growing missile capabilities. While there have been some obstacles and challenges in the development of American hypersonic weapons, the U.S. defense industry is known for its strength. With continued investment, collaboration, and focus, it's likely that the United States will catch up to China in this critical area of military technology. The arms race is far from over, and with the right strategy, the U.S. could still emerge as the leader in hypersonic missile technology. This leads us to one important question. Can the F-35 withstand the lethality of the Chinese hypersonic threat? Let's analyze the strength of this American airfighter. The F-35 Joint Strike Fighter is one of the most recognizable fighter jets in the world. Since it began service, this American-made fifth-generation aircraft has flown over 777,000 hours. Currently, 20 nations use the F-35, making it a vital tool for the U.S. and its allies. For years, the U.S. held air superiority with the introduction of the F-22 Raptor. However, both China and Russia now have their own fifth-generation jets and are working on sixth-generation designs. For now, the F-22 and F-35 remain America's top fighters. The F-35 mission systems are like the brain and eyes of the jet, making it one of the smartest aircraft ever built. Packed with advanced sensors and software, these systems give pilots a complete picture of their surroundings, making the jet a powerful tool in modern warfare. Key components include the APG-81 radar, which can track multiple targets over 150 kilometers away, and the Barracuda electronic warfare system, which can detect, jam, and protect against enemy radars. The jet also features a cutting-edge distributed aperture system with 6 infrared cameras that provide a full to 60-degree view, even at night. All this information is fused into a single clear display for the pilot, giving them unmatched situational awareness. Future upgrades include improved sensors, a more powerful radar, and even the ability to control drones during missions. With these advancements, the F-35 isn't just a fighter jet. It's a flying command center built for the future of air combat. Stealth is one of the F-35's most impressive features, making it hard for enemies to detect. Its unique design includes smooth, curved surfaces, precisely aligned edges, and radar-absorbing materials to minimize radar detection. Even the engine is cleverly hidden from view. The jet's advanced air intake system, called the diverterless supersonic inlet, further reduces its radar signature by eliminating gaps that could reflect signals. Remarkably, the F-35 radio cross-section is so small that it's been compared to the size of a metal golf ball from certain angles, even outperforming the stealthy F-22 in some scenarios. Its outer skin, made from durable radar-absorbent material, is designed to last longer and require less maintenance than older stealth aircraft like the F-22. The F-35 also reduces its infrared and visual signatures, making it harder to spot by heat or sight. It carefully manages its radio signals to avoid detection. While low-frequency radars can sometimes detect stealth aircraft, they are bulky, imprecise, and easy to locate, giving the F-35 a significant advantage. For training purposes, it can even use special reflectors to temporarily increase its radar signature. Its cockpit is like something out of a sci-fi movie, designed to give pilots maximum awareness and control. At its heart is a massive 20 by 8-inch touchscreen display, which shows everything from flight data to weapon systems and alerts. Pilots can customize the layout to fit their needs, making it incredibly user-friendly. Beneath this display is a smaller backup screen for emergencies, while advanced voice recognition technology allows hands-free commands. Unlike older jets with head-up displays on the dashboard, the F-35 uses a state-of-the-art helmet-mounted display system. This helmet projects flight and combat information directly onto the pilot's visor, so they can see critical data no matter where they're looking. It even integrates infrared and night vision, allowing pilots to see through the plane for incredible situational awareness. The helmet is so advanced that pilots can lock onto targets and fire missiles without pointing the aircraft directly at them. Each helmet costs a whopping $400,000, but its capabilities are game-changing. While the HMDS had some growing pains, like issues with vibration and night vision early on, it's now more reliable than ever. The latest version boasts improved cameras, sharper displays, and advanced alignment features. The F-35 cockpit and helmet work together to give pilots an unmatched edge in the skies, blending cutting-edge technology with pilot-friendly design. Without going on and on about the capabilities of the F-35, to answer the question, it is unlikely for this American aircraft to be able to directly withstand a hit from a modern Chinese hypersonic missile due to their extreme speed, maneuverability, and difficulty in detection, making them very hard to intercept with current technology. What is the United States Air Force doing concerning the threat that these Chinese hypersonic air force pose? The United States Department of Defense is ramping up spending on hypersonic weapons after years of warnings that China is pulling ahead in this technology. However, this new arms race comes with risks, especially as relations between the US and China continue to worsen. And there's limited information about China's advancements in this field. Hypersonic weapons, which travel faster than Mach 5, aren't a new concept. The US has been testing them since the 1950s. But investment in these systems slowed over the years. Meanwhile, China and Russia have made significant progress in their hypersonic programs. Russia recently demonstrated its capability by using 6 hypersonic Kinzhal missiles in Ukraine, the largest single deployment of these weapons during the war. Other nations, including Australia, South and North Korea, Japan, India, and Germany, are also developing hypersonic weapons. The US is now increasing funding and efforts to catch up, but the timing is tense, with US-China relations at their lowest point in decades. This competition could shape the future of global military power. The US Department of Defense reportedly plans to allocate $15 billion for hypersonic weapons development for the Army and Air Force between 2023 and 2027, as highlighted in a Congressional Budget Office report. This figure excludes the Navy's program, which recently awarded a $1.1 billion contract to Lockheed Martin for integrating hypersonic systems into Zumwalt-class destroyers. Experts have indicated that the US may be lagging behind China in this field. Reports noted that China's 2021 test of a nuclear-capable hypersonic weapon surprised many in the defense sector, showcasing advanced capabilities that exceeded expectations. It has been suggested that America's previous technological dominance, once considered untouchable, is now being challenged by China's progress. Observers have pointed out that this shift has spurred the US to accelerate its efforts in several areas. Concerns have also been raised about the absence of treaties governing hypersonic weapons, a situation some believe could lead to global instability, as seen during the Cuban Missile Crisis. However, analysts have noted that the major powers in this domain appear unwilling to pursue such agreements at present. Despite challenges, US defense officials, lawmakers, and weapons manufacturers continue to advocate for hypersonic technology, with the government now committing significant funding to advance the project. Hypersonic weapons are undeniably expensive, but they offer unique advantages that justify the investment. The US military began exploring hypersonic systems as far back as the 1960s, initially focusing on hypersonic flight for transporting people rather than weapons. By the 1980s, however, the focus shifted. During this period, the Air Force tested the maneuvering reentry vehicles, demonstrating that missiles traveling at speeds of Mach 5 or faster could be guided precisely to their targets as they re-entered Earth's atmosphere. The early 2000s marked a turning point when the US began serious efforts to develop hypersonic weapons under its Conventional Prompt Global Strike program. Today, 2 primary types of hypersonic weapons are being developed: glide vehicles and air-breathing missiles. Glide vehicles are launched on rockets and glide through the atmosphere at high speeds, while air-breathing missiles use engines to sustain their hypersonic speeds. Although U.S. hypersonic systems are designed to carry conventional payloads, other nations such as China are pursuing nuclear-capable hypersonic weapons. This was evident during China's groundbreaking 2021 tests, which demonstrated the ability to combine nuclear warheads with hypersonic speeds, raising concerns about the global arms race. As the U.S. pushes forward, these advanced systems promise unparalleled speed, precision, and flexibility in modern warfare, making them a critical focus for defense strategies. China has long sought ways to counter U.S. missile defense systems, viewing them as a threat to its nuclear deterrence, according to Lyle Morris, a senior fellow at the Asia Society Policy Institute. Since the early 2000s, China has significantly boosted its hypersonic weapons program, especially after the U.S. withdrew from the anti-ballistic missile treaty with the Soviet Union. With no restrictions on developing anti-ballistic systems, China felt compelled to develop a different kind of deterrent. One key focus of China's efforts has been glide-type hypersonic weapons. These systems start their journey atop a ballistic missile, explains Timothy Heath, a defense researcher at the RAND Corporation. Once the missile reaches a certain altitude, the hypersonic glider detaches and travels at incredible speeds within the atmosphere. Unlike traditional ballistic missiles that follow a fixed trajectory, the glider can maneuver in flight, using the momentum from its launch to strike its target with precision. China claims its hypersonic weapons are ready for deployment, which Heath notes is a step or two ahead of the U.S., whose hypersonic program is still in the testing phase. This progress isn't surprising given China's advanced ballistic missile program and the U.S.'s relative underinvestment in similar technologies over the years. The real game changer with hypersonic weapons isn't just their speed, but their ability to maneuver and evade missile defense systems like the Patriot. These systems, widely used in the U.S. and 17 other countries, struggle to track and intercept hypersonic weapons due to their unpredictable flight paths and the ability to skim the edge of the Earth's atmosphere before re-entering. According to defense experts, hypersonic weapons could potentially outmatch even the most advanced air and missile defense systems in the near future, making them a significant development in modern military technology. With China's successful hypersonic missile tests and rising tensions between Beijing and Washington, it's understandable to worry about the rapid pace of weapons development and heated rhetoric. However, there are significant obstacles to the widespread use of hypersonic weapons in combat. The high cost, around $15 million to $18 million per missile, combined with the practical realities of warfare, where basic weapons like artillery are often more effective, makes their use in battle questionable. Experts like Lyle Morris and Timothy Heath are skeptical about hypersonics' actual usefulness on the battlefield. A report from the Congressional Research Service points out that critics believe these weapons don't have clear mission roles, don't significantly improve U.S. military capabilities, and aren't necessary for deterrence. In addition, there's concern that China might share its hypersonic technology with other U.S. adversaries, such as North Korea, Iran, and Russia, all of which are developing their own hypersonic programs. As China and Russia strengthen their defense and technological ties, sharing knowledge on hypersonics wouldn't be surprising, says Elsa Kania, an expert on national security. One of the main concerns about China's hypersonic program is that the U.S. might be caught off guard. The fear of appearing less dominant in defense was especially strong after China's successful missile tests in 2021. General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, called these tests China's Sputnik moment, drawing a comparison to the Soviet Union's 1957 launch of the first artificial satellite, which shocked the U.S. Despite the concerns, Heath argues that hypersonic weapons would not be the deciding factor in a conflict between the U.S. and China or any other nation with hypersonic capabilities. The U.S. has a significant edge in other military technologies like stealth aircraft, long-range bombers, aircraft carriers, and submarines, conventional forces that allow the U.S. to project power and dominate adversaries without relying on long-range missiles. As the U.S. continues to invest in hypersonics and other nations develop their own capabilities, it's crucial to establish some sort of agreement on how these weapons should be used in combat. Unfortunately, Morris notes, this may not happen until a major escalation forces both sides to confront the issue. With the current lack of communication between China and the U.S. military, the risk of misunderstandings or miscalculations is high. Furthermore, most significant weapons agreements have historically been between the US and Russia. With Russia pulling out of the New START Treaty, the last major nuclear arms control agreement, the hope for any future defense technology agreement seems distant at best. As the Russo-Ukrainian war continues to wage on intensely, Russia has made a daring move that no one saw coming. This country just unveiled a $300 million fighter jet packed with incredible speed and devastating firepower. Built to dominate the skies, this jet is not only faster but also highly agile, with the potential to engage and outmatch even the advanced American F-35 in aerial combat. What makes this fighter jet so unique? Could it really subdue the F-35? Join us as we explore the groundbreaking features of Russia's insane new $300 million fighter jet that can destroy the F-35 in seconds. The Sukhoi Su-75 Checkmate, also known as the Checkmate, is an impressive new addition to the world of fighter jets. Designed by Russia, this jet is built to be fast, stealthy, and loaded with advanced technology. The Checkmate is a fifth-generation fighter jet that can compete with other powerful aircraft like the US-made F-35. The goal with this fighter jet is to appeal to countries that need a capable, modern fighter, but don't have the enormous budgets required for more expensive jets. This approach makes this aircraft an interesting one in the fighter jet market. What makes this jet unique is its focus on stealth technology, which makes it hard to detect by enemy radar. The engineers who designed it worked carefully on its shape, using special angles and materials to reflect as little radar energy as possible. This means the jet has smooth surfaces and a carefully designed body that deflects radar waves, making it much harder for enemies to spot. Instead of hanging weapons on its wings, as many older jets do, this aircraft hides its weapons inside the aircraft. This hidden design doesn't just help with stealth, it also reduces drag, which lets the plane fly faster and with greater maneuverability. Unlike many modern fighter jets, this fighter aircraft uses a single-engine design. Most advanced fighters, like the F-22 and Su-57, use two engines to reach higher speeds and handle heavier loads. But a single-engine design makes it cheaper to produce and maintain, which lowers its overall operating costs. Despite having only one engine, this jet is very fast and agile. It is powered by a version of the AL-41F1 engine, which is a powerful and reliable engine used in other Russian jets. This engine can potentially allow the jet to reach speeds of up to Mach 1.8, letting it keep up with other fifth-generation fighters while using less fuel. Its cockpit is designed to help the pilot handle fast, complex situations with ease. It features a high-tech interface that gives the pilot important information about the aircraft, surrounding threats, and mission details, all showing on a single screen. The pilot can even use voice commands to control certain systems, meaning they can keep their hands on the controls without needing to look down at buttons or switches. This type of advanced, user-friendly cockpit makes it easier for the pilot to focus on tactics and decision-making during missions, enhancing both safety and efficiency. The jet's advanced radar system also adds to its capabilities. Using what's known as an electronically scanned array radar, it can track multiple targets at once, identifying and monitoring enemy aircraft or other threats from a significant distance. This radar system is similar to the one found on Russia's Su-57, giving it the ability to detect targets well before they get close. In combat, this long-range radar allows the pilot to see threats from afar, decide on a plan of action, and engage or evade before the enemy is even aware of its presence. This advanced radar capability is essential in today's aerial combat, where quick reaction times and early detection are crucial. Designed for flexibility, this fighter jet is built to handle a wide range of missions. Whether the mission is focused on air-to-air combat, ground strikes, or surveillance, it can adapt. This flexibility is partly due to its modular design, which allows operators to change certain parts based on the type of mission. If a mission requires more firepower, the Checkmate can be equipped with additional air-to-air missiles. And if the mission involves attacking ground targets, it can be equipped with precision-guided bombs. This makes it a versatile tool, ready to take on a variety of roles based on the needs of the mission. The aircraft's weapons system includes a mix of missiles and bombs that can be designed to suit different situations. In air-to-air combat, this fighter aircraft can carry short and long-range missiles, giving it the ability to engage targets both close-up and at a distance. For ground attacks, it can carry bombs with precision guidance technology, allowing it to strike specific targets with high accuracy. This mix of weapons makes it really effective in both air-to-air and air-to-ground roles, providing a well-rounded set of capabilities that makes it useful in diverse combat scenarios. In close-range fights, where agility and speed are essential, this aircraft can perform well. One key feature that gives it an edge is its thrust vectoring, a technology that allows the engine's exhaust to be directed in different ways. This directional exhaust provides greater control and allows the jet to make sharper turns, giving it an advantage when maneuvering against enemy fighters. By adjusting the direction of the engine thrust, the pilot can quickly change the jet's position, helping them outmaneuver opponents during intense aerial engagements. Maintenance cost is another area where the Checkmate stands out. Many advanced fighter jets are incredibly expensive to maintain due to their complex systems and high-tech materials. However, this jet has been designed with simpler, more reliable components that make maintenance easier and less costly. This has been a big selling point for countries with smaller defense budgets, as it reduces the lifetime cost of operating the jet. One thing that makes this fighter jet so appealing is its strong focus on digital technology and automation. It is also equipped with artificial intelligence assistance systems, which will give the pilot a powerful advantage. These AI systems can analyze vast amounts of data in real time, offering suggestions to the pilot, or even making tactical decisions independently when needed. The AI could track multiple targets simultaneously and provide the pilot with the best options for attack or evade. This capability makes it highly efficient in combat, allowing the pilot to focus more on strategy rather than on manually managing every system. The Checkmate software and systems are designed with future upgrades in mind, meaning it can easily incorporate new technology over time. This ability to upgrade is significant, as military technology is advancing rapidly, and a fighter jet can quickly become out of date if it isn't adaptable. By creating a design that can be updated with new hardware and software, Sukhoi is ensuring that this aircraft can stay relevant for decades. In the long run, this adaptability can save operators money, as they won't need to replace their jets every few years. They can simply upgrade their jet as new advancements in radar, sensors, or AI become available. Its stealth capabilities have always been its most impressive features, as there has been more significant effort into making this jet difficult to detect. Aside from its radar-evading shape, the jet is constructed with radar-absorbent materials that further reduce its visibility to enemy radar systems. These materials are carefully chosen to absorb radar waves rather than reflect them, which minimizes the jets being seen on enemy screens. Another aspect that makes this powerful aircraft stand out is its potential for carrier operations. The Checkmate jet is modified to take off and land on aircraft carriers, making it one of the rare single-engine stealth fighters able to operate from carriers. This carrier version can provide a cost-effective stealth option for naval forces, allowing them to project power far beyond their home bases. Being adaptable for aircraft carriers adds extra flexibility, making it a fighter jet that can operate in different environments to protect airspace over both land and sea. This powerful aircraft also has a low infrared signature, which means it's less likely to be detected by heat-seeking missiles or sensors. Its engine and exhaust are designed in such a way that they emit less heat than traditional jet engines. Lower heat emissions make it harder for enemy infrared sensors to track this jet, reducing the chance of detection by thermal imaging systems. This low-heat design is part of what makes this aircraft valuable in missions where remaining undetected is essential, such as reconnaissance or precision strikes. By combining low radar and infrared signatures, it can evade both types of detection methods commonly used by enemy forces. The jet's fuel efficiency also sets it apart. Due to its single-engine design and carefully streamlined body, the aircraft can fly for extended periods without needing to refuel. Long-range capabilities are essential for countries with vast territories or those that need to patrol large areas without frequent refueling stops. The fuel efficiency is also advantageous in combat scenarios, as it enables the aircraft to stay in the air longer, providing better support to ground troops or staying alert to enemy threats over extended periods. This extended range and endurance make it especially appealing to countries with large areas to cover. Beyond its technical capabilities, its low cost and ease of use make it appealing for joint training exercises and cooperative missions with allied nations. Many countries with limited defense budgets might find it easier to operate and maintain this fighter jet than some of the other fifth-generation fighters. This accessibility allows for more collaborative defense programs, where multiple countries share training resources or develop combined air strategies. By choosing a fighter like the Checkmate, which is easier to acquire and manage, these countries have enhanced their defense partnerships, contributing to regional stability and security. Using the F-35 as a comparison might not be the best choice because this jet has faced many challenges from its design stage to full production, and it is nowhere near the Checkmate. To understand why, let's take a closer look at the F-35 project. The F-35, also known as the Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II, was created to be the world's most advanced stealth fighter. Developed by the United States, this aircraft was supposed to replace older models and bring revolutionary capabilities to the battlefield. However, the path to making it work has been full of problems, delays, and high costs. Designed to serve multiple branches of the U.S. military, the F-35 aimed to be a one-size-fits-all fighter, which meant it needed to perform a wide range of tasks for the Air Force, Navy, and Marine Corps. But that ambition quickly turned into one of the most complicated and expensive military projects in history. One major reason the F-35 became so complex is that it was built in 3 versions, having the F-35A for conventional takeoff and landing, the F-35B with short takeoff and vertical landing for the Marines, and the F-35C for aircraft carrier operations for the Navy. Each version had to meet different needs, making it difficult for engineers to design a single jet that could perform so many roles. This challenge led to technical issues and increased the time and money required to bring each version to life. One unique feature of the F-35 is its advanced stealth technology, designed to make it nearly invisible to enemy radar. Its special shape and materials help reduce its radar signature, so it's harder to detect in combat. While this stealth capability gives the F-35 an edge in sneaking past enemy defenses, it also makes the jet more expensive to maintain. The materials that reduce its radar signature are delicate and require careful handling, meaning that any minor damage could compromise its stealthiness. The F-35's cockpit is another high-tech aspect that was supposed to make it revolutionary. Instead of traditional gauges and dials, the F-35 relies on a massive touchscreen display and a helmet-mounted display system. The helmet itself is a piece of technology worth noting, as it provides the pilot with a 360-degree view, allowing them to see through the aircraft as if the jet itself were invisible. This high-tech helmet, however, came with its own set of problems. Priced at hundreds of thousands of dollars per unit, it's also heavy and uncomfortable, leading to concerns for pilots, especially in high-stress combat scenarios. For all its cutting-edge features, the F-35 has faced criticism for performance issues. One major drawback is that it can't fly at twice the speed of sound as some other jets can. In fact, the F-35's supersonic flight mode is limited to brief bursts, and there's even a warning on its control panel advising pilots to use it only in emergencies. While it's still fast, this limitation restricts its ability to perform at the speeds that many other fighter jets can reach, which could be a disadvantage in high-speed air combat. Additionally, the F-35 relies heavily on complex software to function, with millions of lines of code running its systems. This reliance on software has led to frequent glitches and has made the jet more prone to technical issues. The software complications mean that the F-35 often needs updates and troubleshooting, which has slowed down its deployment and made it harder to keep ready for action. In combat situations, any software problem could potentially limit the jet's effectiveness, raising questions about its reliability on the battlefield. The F-35 is also known for being costly to maintain. The price tag of around $80 million per jet and the maintenance costs add up significantly over time. The advanced stealth coatings need constant care, and any repairs to their sensitive technology require specialized tools and expertise, further driving up costs. This high upkeep has made it challenging for some countries to justify the expense, even if they were initially interested in purchasing the jet. Another problem that has troubled the F-35 is its ability to be ready for missions. The aircraft has faced problems with reliability, and many units have been taken out of operation for repairs at any given time. Its engine, while powerful, has faced issues, including failures in its heat-resistant coating, which can lead to expensive repairs. These maintenance delays mean that not all F-35s are flight-ready at the same time, reducing the fleet's overall effectiveness in large-scale operations. Despite these setbacks, the F-35 does have impressive weapons. It can carry a range of missiles and bombs, with an internal weapons bay that allows it to remain stealthy while still being powerful. For missions where stealth isn't as critical, it can also carry additional weapons on external mounts. This flexibility in armament allows the F-35 to perform both air-to-air and air-to-ground attacks, making it a versatile choice for a variety of missions. One of the most innovative aspects of the F-35 is its ability to gather and share information with other units in real time. It can connect with other F-35s and allied forces, creating a networked view of the battlefield. This data-sharing capability is a huge advantage, as it enables coordinated attacks and improves situational awareness for the entire team. This networked warfare concept is part of what makes the F-35 valuable, even if it has faced issues along the way. However, as advanced as it is, the F-35's development and operational issues have left room for other nations to step up with alternative options. Russia's Checkmate fighter is quickly becoming a better choice for countries looking for a new military aircraft. Many nations are turning away from the F-35 because of its high costs and complicated technology. The Checkmate's designers have even considered future updates to keep the jet competitive in a changing world. The Russian aircraft company has mentioned the plans to create an unmanned version of the Checkmate, which would allow it to be used as a drone. In this unmanned mode, it could fly missions without a human pilot, potentially being controlled from a base far away. This capability would be useful for high-risk missions where sending a human pilot might be too dangerous. The possibility of an unmanned development shows that the country is thinking ahead and aiming to keep the aircraft relevant for future warfare needs. It has also been that a two-seater version of the Checkmate will be developed soon. This development would allow for a co-pilot or systems officer to join the mission, providing additional support in high-stakes operations. The second crew member could take charge of managing weapon systems, communications, or electronic warfare, allowing the main pilot to focus entirely on flying and tactics. A two-seater variant would be useful for complex missions that require extensive multitasking or coordination with other units, giving air forces even more flexibility in mission planning. This fighter aircraft represents a significant shift in fighter jet design philosophy. By balancing affordability with advanced technology, it is also challenging the traditional fact that fifth-generation fighters must come with sky-high price tags. With this jet, countries that could not previously afford fifth-generation technology now have a potential entry point into the world of stealth and digital warfare. This shift could have a lasting impact on global air combat, making advanced air capabilities accessible to more nations, and, in turn, reshaping military strategies around the world. The Sukhoi Su-75 Checkmate is more than just a new fighter jet. It represents a new approach to fighter design, one that combines stealth, versatility, and affordability. With its AI-driven systems, stealth capabilities, adaptability for various missions, and future-focused design, it has the potential to make fifth-generation combat technology available to a broader range of countries. By providing a fighter jet that balances advanced features with cost-effective operation, this fighter jet could redefine the expectations for modern fighter jets in the years to come. Russia's Checkmate fighter jet isn't just a new player in the aviation world, but it's built with the ambition to outmaneuver and outperform, especially against competitors like the F-35. Packed with features that blend stealth, speed, and striking power, the aircraft is designed to capitalize on the weaknesses of the F-35 and to dominate in combat scenarios where every second counts. When the Anka-3 emerged from its hangar in November 2023, defense analysts around the world had to do a double take. This was not supposed to happen. A country that had been locked out of the F-35 program just a few years earlier had somehow built a flying wing stealth combat drone that looked like it belonged in a superpower's arsenal. How did Turkey pull this off? And what does their sudden emergence as a stealth aircraft manufacturer mean for an already tense global defense landscape? Join us as we explore the 10 most shocking aspects of Turkey's Anka-3 program. The event took place at the Turkish aerospace industry site close to Ankara during what was meant to be a normal display of Turkey's increasing defense abilities. Journalists were invited, along with military leaders and some foreign guests. No one anticipated what would happen next. When the hangar doors opened and the Anka-3 appeared, everyone fell silent. People were amazed not only because Turkey created a stealth drone, but also because of the specific type of stealth drone they built. The design, shaped like a flying wing with no vertical fins and smooth surfaces, showed some of the best aerospace engineering globally. Other countries with much more experience and money had a hard time getting this design right. Yet Turkey presented something that seemed to fit in the same category as the American B-21 Raider or the Chinese GJ-11. Defense journalists and military attachés started taking photos immediately. Some were impressed, calling it a genuine breakthrough that nobody saw coming. Others were skeptical, questioning whether the aircraft was actually functional or just a full-scale mock-up designed to generate headlines. A few Western analysts seemed almost offended, as if Turkey had broken some unspoken rule about who gets to build fifth-generation stealth aircraft. Regardless of their reactions, everyone understood they were witnessing something significant. The aircraft itself looked menacing in person. Painted in a dark gray scheme with sharp angular edges blending into smooth curves, it had that distinctive, tailless flying wing profile that signals stealth to anyone who knows aircraft design. No tail fins jutting up to catch radar. No obvious engine intakes creating radar hotspots. Just clean, continuous surfaces designed to scatter electromagnetic waves in every direction except back toward the source. Turkish officials spoke briefly at the presentation. They said the aircraft is called the Anka and that it is made for high altitude, long missions, and will eventually carry smart bombs. After that, they stopped talking. There were no details about its specifications, performance, or when it would be ready for use. The message was clear. Turkey had built something impressive, and the world could figure out the details on its own time. What made the whole thing more shocking was the timeline. Just 4 years earlier, in 2019, the United States had kicked Turkey out of the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter program. The reason? Turkey had bought Russian S-400 air defense systems, and Washington considered that an unacceptable security risk. Losing access to the F-35 was supposed to be devastating for Turkey's Air Force modernization plans. American officials assumed it would force Ankara to come back to the table on American terms. Turkey's aerospace industry did not appear overnight. The country had been building toward this moment for decades, slowly developing the technical expertise and industrial base necessary to design and manufacture advanced aircraft. Turkish Aerospace Industries, the state-owned company behind Anka-3, traces its roots back to the 1970s. Back then, they were assembling American and European aircraft under license, learning the fundamentals of aviation manufacturing one rivet at a time. The real turning point came in the 2000s when Turkey committed to developing indigenous defense capabilities. Tired of depending on foreign suppliers who could cut them off at any moment for political reasons, Ankara started pouring money into domestic research and development. The initial projects were modest, upgrading existing aircraft, developing subsystems, and building unmanned aerial vehicles for reconnaissance missions. Each success built confidence and capability. The original Anka program, which began in the early 2000s, focused on creating a medium-altitude, long-endurance surveillance drone. It was not particularly sophisticated by global standards, but it worked, and more importantly, it was entirely Turkish. Engineers learned how to design airframes, integrate avionics, develop flight control systems, and manage complex aerospace projects from start to finish. Those skills became the foundation for everything that followed. By the time Turkey started working on Anka-3, they had accumulated nearly 2 decades of hands-on experience in unmanned aircraft development. They had also established partnerships with foreign companies willing to share technology, acquired advanced manufacturing equipment, and trained a generation of aerospace engineers who understood both the theory and practice of building military aircraft. The knowledge gap between Turkey and the traditional aerospace powers had been narrowing for years. Anka-3 was the moment that gap closed enough to matter. What separates Anka-3 from earlier Turkish aircraft is not just its stealth characteristics, but also its operational concept. This was designed from the start as a combat platform, not a surveillance asset that might eventually carry weapons. The flying wing configuration maximizes internal weapons bay capacity while maintaining a low radar cross-section. That means Anka-3 can carry precision-guided bombs, and air-to-ground missiles hidden inside its fuselage, launching them without compromising its stealth profile. The aircraft reportedly has a wingspan of around 15 meters and an operational ceiling exceeding 40,000 feet. Those numbers put it in the same category as other high-altitude stealth drones, capable of loitering over target areas for extended periods while remaining difficult to detect. The jet engine, which appears to be mounted internally with carefully designed intakes and exhausts, provides the thrust needed for long-range missions and high-speed attacks. Stealth technology requires obsessive attention to detail. Every surface, every seam, every panel has to be precisely engineered to minimize radar reflection. Turkey apparently succeeded in mastering the complex materials science, computational modeling, and manufacturing precision required to make this work. That alone represents a massive technological achievement, one that places Turkey in an extremely exclusive club of nations capable of producing operational stealth aircraft. The flight control system deserves special attention. Flying wing designs are inherently unstable. Without a traditional tail providing natural stability, the aircraft relies entirely on computer-controlled surfaces and thrust vectoring to stay in the air. The software managing these systems has to make thousands of tiny adjustments per second, correcting for wind, turbulence, and pilot inputs faster than any human could react. Getting that software right requires years of testing and refinement. Turkey apparently got it right. The avionics system is another big success. Modern stealth planes need advanced technology to combine information from radar, infrared cameras, electronic warfare systems, and other sources into one clear view. Anka 3 is said to have a special radar that can track several targets at the same time while staying hard to detect. This type of radar needs advanced technology and processing methods that Turkey likely created or obtained despite restrictions on exports. The weapons integration system also shows considerable sophistication. Internal weapons bays must open, release munitions, and close again in a matter of seconds without compromising stealth. That requires precise mechanical systems, careful aerodynamic design, and software that coordinates everything perfectly. Turkish engineers apparently solved these problems, though exactly how they managed it remains unclear. The aircraft can reportedly carry a mix of guided bombs and cruise missiles, giving it genuine strike capability against both fixed and mobile targets. Building Anka 3 was not just a technical challenge, it was a logistical and industrial one. Creating an aircraft this sophisticated requires hundreds of specialized suppliers providing everything from advanced composites to precision machine components. Turkey had to either develop these capabilities domestically or find foreign partners willing to provide them, despite potential political pressure from the United States and other Western nations. Reports suggest Turkish engineers faced significant obstacles obtaining certain critical technologies, particularly advanced jet engines and some electronic warfare systems. International arms embargoes and technology transfer restrictions meant they could not simply buy what they needed from established suppliers. Instead, they had to improvise, reverse engineer, and develop indigenous alternatives. The fact that Anka 3 exists at all suggests they succeeded in overcoming most of these obstacles. The engine situation was difficult. High-performance jet engines require exotic materials, precision manufacturing, and decades of accumulated engineering knowledge. Turkey initially tried to develop its own turbofan engine, but apparently encountered difficulties meeting performance requirements. Industry sources suggest they eventually secured engines through partnerships with Ukrainian manufacturers, who faced fewer restrictions on sales to Turkey. Whether those engines meet all of Anka's requirements or represent a temporary solution until domestic alternatives are ready remains unclear. Composite materials were another major hurdle. Stealth aircraft use specialized radar-absorbent materials that are difficult to manufacture and highly classified. Turkey had to either develop these materials from scratch or find suppliers willing to sell them despite potential diplomatic complications. Engineers reportedly spent years experimenting with different chemical formulations and manufacturing processes before achieving materials that met their requirements. Some of those materials may still fall short of what American or Chinese stealth aircraft use, but they apparently work well enough to make Anka genuinely difficult to detect. Testing had its own challenges. Stealth aircraft need specialized facilities to measure their radar cross-sections accurately. They need secure testing ranges where foreign intelligence services cannot easily observe their performance. Turkey reportedly built new testing infrastructure specifically for Anka 3, including radar measurement facilities and expanded flight test ranges. That infrastructure investment will pay dividends for future programs. The reactions from Turkey's NATO allies range from uncomfortable to outright hostile. American defense officials publicly downplayed Anka 3's significance, suggesting it was less capable than Turkish officials claimed. Privately, the response was more concerned. Turkey developing advanced stealth capabilities independently meant they were less dependent on American military technology and therefore harder to influence through traditional diplomatic channels. Greece, Turkey's historic rival and fellow NATO member, watched the unveiling with alarm. The two countries have unresolved territorial disputes in the Aegean Sea and tensions over Cyprus that occasionally flare into military confrontations. The Anka 3 gives Turkey a significant new capability in any potential conflict, one that Greece currently has no equivalent for. Greek defense officials immediately began discussions about acquiring their own advanced drones or developing countermeasures. European countries reacted in different ways. Some, especially those with defense companies that could work with Turkey, saw a chance for cooperation. Others were concerned about stability in the Eastern Mediterranean and whether Turkey's increasing military strength would make it more difficult to control within NATO. Additionally, Turkey's ability to do this while still having ties with Russia raised more worries among Europeans. Russia reacted calmly. Moscow has its own advanced military aircraft programs and probably saw Anka 3 as proof that selling air defense systems to Turkey was a good choice, rather than seeing it as a direct threat. In fact, Turkey's ability to develop its own technology likely made it a more appealing partner for Russia, showing that Turkey has strong technical skills and is willing to resist pressure from the West. Saudi Arabia is interested in Turkish defense products and has already bought earlier versions of the Anka drones for spying missions. The new Anka 3 is a big improvement that might attract the Saudis, especially because they are involved in military actions in Yemen and have issues with Iran. The main concern is whether Turkey would hurt its relationships with Western allies by selling stealth combat drones to controversial customers in the Middle East. The United Arab Emirates faces similar considerations. Abu Dhabi has been working to reduce its dependence on American military technology after Washington blocked certain weapon sales over human rights concerns. Turkish stealth drones offer an attractive alternative, though political complications around the Abraham Accords and Turkish-Israeli tensions could complicate any potential deals. Qatar, which is Turkey's main ally in the Gulf, likely has access to the Anka if they choose to. The two countries work closely together in military matters, including having a Turkish military base in Qatar. If Qatar buys Turkish stealth drones, it could change the power balance in the region, especially with the current tensions with Saudi Arabia and the UAE. This possibility probably worries other Gulf countries a lot. Pakistan is another potential customer with strategic implications. The country maintains close military ties with Turkey and desperately needs to modernize its air capabilities to counter India's growing military strength. Turkish stealth drones could provide Pakistan with asymmetric capabilities against a much larger adversary, though the technology transfer and cost considerations would require careful negotiation. Israel, which maintains a complex relationship with Turkey involving both cooperation and competition, viewed Anka 3 through the lens of regional power dynamics. Israeli defense officials recognized that Turkey was positioning itself as a major military power in the Eastern Mediterranean and Middle East. That could complicate Israeli military planning, particularly regarding freedom of action in Syrian airspace. When compared to other stealth combat drones, Anka 3 sits in interesting territory. It is more ambitious than most existing platforms, but less proven than systems from the United States or China. The American MQ-25 Stingray, for example, represents the current state-of-the-art in carrier-based stealth drones, but that program has taken nearly a decade and cost billions of dollars. China's GJ-11 Sharp Sword drone demonstrated flying-wing stealth capabilities years before Anka 3, but details about its operational status remain classified. What makes the Anka 3 particularly significant is not necessarily its absolute capabilities, but what it represents for Turkey's defense industry. This aircraft demonstrates that a nation outside the traditional aerospace superpowers can develop genuinely advanced military aviation technology if they commit sufficient resources and expertise. That changes the calculus for countries considering their own indigenous aircraft programs. The true combat ability of the aircraft is still not tested. Stealth technology is most effective when it works with advanced electronic warfare tools, better sensors, and connections to larger military systems. Creating the aircraft is one task. Creating the whole system that makes it work well in battle is another. Turkey will need many years of testing and improvements before Anka 3 can perform at its best. Turkey having stealth combat drones is important for more than just its military strength. For many years, powerful countries have used advanced military technology to control smaller nations. If you want advanced fighter jets, you need to maintain good relations with the US or Russia. If you need modern air defense systems, you should hope that China or a European group agrees with your political stance. Turkey's success with Anka 3 weakens that dynamic. If Ankara can build its own stealth aircraft, other nations might conclude they can too. That could accelerate the proliferation of advanced military technology to countries that previously had no realistic path to acquiring it. The exclusive club of nations capable of producing cutting-edge military aircraft is expanding, and that has profound implications for global security. Regional power balances will change. In the Eastern Mediterranean, Turkey now possesses capabilities that give it significant military advantages over neighbors. In the Middle East, Turkey becomes a more credible military power broker, able to offer sophisticated weapon systems to allies while demonstrating its own technological prowess. That enhanced status could translate into greater diplomatic influence. The relationship between Turkey and NATO faces new complications. Alliance cohesion depends partly on interoperability and shared systems. Turkey increasingly operates military equipment that does not integrate with NATO standard systems, creating potential coordination problems in any joint operations. At the same time, Turkey's enhanced capabilities make it a more valuable ally in scenarios where NATO needs regional military power projection. Arms export markets will also shift. Turkey has been aggressively marketing its defense products internationally, and Anka 3 gives Turkish defense companies a prestigious flagship product to showcase. Countries that feel uncomfortable with the political conditions attached to American or European weapons might view Turkey as an attractive alternative supplier. That could generate significant revenue while expanding Turkey's geopolitical influence. The question now is what comes next. Will Turkey stop with Anka 3, content to have proven its capabilities, or is this just the beginning of a broader push into advanced military aviation? Rumors already circulate about potential manned stealth fighter programs and more ambitious drone designs. Turkish aerospace engineers who cut their teeth on Anka 3 now have the expertise to tackle even more complex projects. International partnerships could accelerate Turkish progress. Several nations have expressed interest in collaborating on future Turkish aircraft programs, potentially providing access to technologies and expertise that would take years to develop independently. Those partnerships could help Turkey leapfrog certain developmental stages while generating revenue and diplomatic benefits. Other nations are watching and learning. If Turkey can develop stealth aircraft despite limited resources and international restrictions, what might larger or wealthier countries achieve with similar determination? The proliferation of advanced military technology seems likely to accelerate, driven partly by Turkey's example. The exclusive club of nations capable of producing cutting-edge weapons continues to expand. The world may never look at Turkey's defense industry the same way again. What was once dismissed as a regional player capable of producing decent but unexceptional military equipment has demonstrated the ability to compete with aerospace superpowers. Anka 3 forced a reassessment of Turkish technological capabilities and ambitions. Whether that aircraft ever fires a shot in combat almost doesn't matter. Its existence has already changed calculations in capitals around the world. The question is no longer whether Turkey can build advanced military aircraft. The question is what they will build next. Thanks for watching. While you are still here, click on the link on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.